Racing Dirt Show, Jack and Jerry.
What's up,
Friday,
everybody?
Friday the 13th of no, mind you. I
Yeah,
don't know if
that
that's
doesn't
good,
mean anything. It's just another great Friday. Means we
but
got a
I
lot of
was gonna, I,
so
I was gonna, I could do the intro still. That's still got the. Where's that damn intro at anyway?
it's a good
There it is.
tune. It's a good tune.
Look at that! Look at that! That's playing live right now. We can't see it. Look at that intro.
You gotta do it then.
Or not. So I'll get that out of there. I got to figure out now how to get it off the screen. That's the catch.
You gotta
So
learn music
anyway,
for that, people.
I don't know how to get it. Now, see, I don't know how to get off the screen. I think I do this number and it gets off the screen, but maybe it doesn't. So anyway, see, look at that, Jerry. I can't even get off the screen now.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, here it is. There we go. I figured it out. Technology's great.
It's amazing.
So here's
Awesome.
we got
Good.
a window today to hit on some getting out of here. But Jerry, we're doing a course with Daryl and Mark Anderson that they're going through. They're going through some levers they're pulling. But the topic of SOPs came up yesterday, and the more I think about it, and again, it's SOPs is kind of like when you're in college or you're in high school and you're being asked to write a freaking 20-page thesis. It's just like, I got to do it, but I don't want to do it, but I need to do it. And the outcome is well deserved if you can get to that point. But just cracking that and just saying, I'm going to go into it and do it. Like, tell me who you've seen in your experience, even your own company, but the importance of SOPs, I think is clear. We can talk about that. But more importantly, how do you kind of just start it and what tools? And again, I'm rambling here, but not just to do it for do its sakes, but to do it and say, you know what, we're going to be utilizing this across the whole organization. And here's how we're going to utilize it. Because most people I'm talking with, they make a document. And once it's made, it's kind of like, it's on the shelf and it's there, but it's not being used because it's on a shelf. Maybe it's in a shared directory, but Pete and Sally don't have it at the field level. Mark, who's the area manager, may has access to it, but he doesn't know how to find it. Give me your perspective from a owner of a contract cleaning business of what you've done and what you've seen and what you really see right now. And I'll give you some perspective as well as we go through this.
Yeah, I think and let's clarify for people who might not know what a SOP is, right? It sounds rare. It sounds weird that people wouldn't know that, but a standard operating procedure. Um, there's a lot of people out there that may not even understand what that is. They've probably heard it, in the town I'm in, military town. So it is a, vernacular, like those things are, they shoot those things off like there's no tomorrow. So, but it's just the operating procedures, how you operate, how you function as a company. And I just wrote a really good article that came out in Contracting Profits Magazine, and it's on this very topic. And I'm speaking at it here in March at a National Facilities Management Conference 2026, I think it's called, on the East Coast. So um, one of the things I found in running my business is when my sales and my growth outran my operational strength, my company crashed. I lost more out the back end than I was getting in sales. So this is a big topic for me. And what we realized is we didn't have the procedures, standard operation procedures in place to support that kind of growth. And it's kind of like I told some people yesterday I was on. It's kind of like building a foundation of a house. They pour the foundation, the exterior foundation in our area because it's such a temperature up and down. They pour the exterior foundation, put all the plumbing down, and then they pat sand down over top of it, and then they put concrete in that area as the foundation. What if we just poured the foundation and didn't put the concrete down and built a house on it, right? It's going to fall down. And it's amazing to me how many businesses function that way, where they have the exterior foundation in place, which might be the leadership and one or two really good people, but they don't put the foundation in place of policies and procedure to be able to build their business on. And when they begin to grow, um, they start to lose business out the back end of the business, because they don't have those things in place. And so, in my article, what I wrote about was, if I'm a small business owner, say say it's me and maybe an office person, and I got a supervisor, and I'm trying to grow my business and get to a place where I can start scaling and picking up bigger accounts. How do I get there? How do I put all this stuff on paper? Well, there's some new technology out there, and it's called a telephone, right? It's a mobile phone, and in that mobile phone, there's a voicemail app, right? And or a voice app, and you can take that voice app, and when you're doing something in the company, say I'm stripping and waxing a floor, I may just take the phone, and go to the voice app, and I may say, here's how we do floors at Davis. First,
Yeah.
we do this: step A, step B, step C, and then with the new phones and the updated apps, you can transfer that to a PDF. And then what I do is I encourage people right now. I'm working with two clients on this. Put a put a company playbook together, and just an electronic or hard copy, whatever you want to do, and throw it in there. And then take once a month, take 2 hours to organize that book. And as you begin to organize over the course of 6 months, you'll be surprised, how much you can get done for building a good foundation of, standard operating procedures. People are going to think you've lost your mind because you're walking around talking to your phone all the time. But I put in ear pods if I was working, or if I'm walking, I put in ear pods and I start talking about, here's what I'd like my coaching business, to look like when it comes to billing, or or contacting customers, whatever it is. And so once you get that foundation in place, then you can build on it and start adding those floors. Some of those foundations are meant for a single story. Some are meant, for two stories. I talked to my buddy of mine yesterday, a builder in this area, builds a ton of homes. And being around the ocean, there's certain things they have to do. Well, I did not realize that the same foundation, um, for a two-story home, is the same foundation for a one-story home, with one exception: the thickness of the concrete is a little more, right? Or
Yeah.
there might have some kind of rebar. So it may be that you have to go back and constantly look at those policies and procedures, and improve on them, or add to them as you begin to grow. But then keep them in a central place to where people have the opportunity, to look at them, and understand, okay, breaking it up into operations, sales, HR, finance, and so that when you hire someone in, they can be trained on that particular area. So that's
Yes.
just a
No,
little bit of a nutshell of how we do it.
no, and I think that's the takeaway is like, I think, going through and breaking those departments down, like you said, I call it seven. I think you call it a few less. I'm a little
Yeah,
more span things, but the marketing, the sales, the
yeah,
finance, the technology, the HR, the operations, getting those buckets laid out. And, I kind of joke about, but to your point though, that's that what you said there, we're talking into your phone. Like I ran across an advertising for Scribe, and I'll bring it up on my screen. I just thought it was very interesting because I didn't think about this angle. Let me pull this up. But Scribe,
yeah,
I'm not trying to sell Scribe, but what they're doing is doing what you just mentioned. So imagine you and I, you're the owner. I'm sitting down, and I'm your finance person, and we're going to go through and we're going to build a training doc or an SOP. What I gather for this, and maybe I'm totally wrong on this thing, but you and I are going to have a conversation. Okay, say we're going to take accounts receivable. Here's what we're going to do. We just talk about it. You keep that recorder on, and what they're incorporating is AI then comes in and says, okay, we took this 20 minutes worth of conversations around accounts receivable. And guess what? We're going to boil that down, and it's going to convert it into an SOP in a certain format, because taking all that conversation, that's the pain point. It's taking that conversation, that tribal knowledge in your head, and putting that down into paper in an organized format that will be consistent across all the other SOPs, and the same voice as the all other SOPs is what's
yeah.
going to be critical. And then what I loved about it is it takes that down, it puts it into it. So maybe it's not 100% done, but it's 95% done. And you don't have to sit there and, go through and say, well, I
Right.
said it this way last time. It'll standardize it. You polish it, boom, it's done. And I think the other thing that most SOP software does is it'll flag it, like you said. It's not, these things are never dead. You need to come back and say, okay, this one, what frequency do you want to revisit this? And you say maybe it's every 6 months, maybe every 12 months, every 2 years, whatever that process is. But all of a sudden, to your point, you start stacking, those two befores on top of that foundation, and before you know it, you got a house. And
Yeah.
I thought just kind of the whole AI side and the standardization, and you and I just having a conversation, and maybe what we do is, I think the other thing I think owners do is they think they have to do this all on their own. And I think the conversation I would have is say, hey,
Right.
listen, you oversell sales, go to Scribe or talk into your phone and tell me the process for a walkthrough. Tell me the prospect for whatever it is, think it through it and let the AI kind of pull it together, get it to you. You can say, hey, this makes sense. If I was a brand newbie, this would make a lot of sense. It helps me a lot. But more as an owner, you may say, I wasn't aware you were doing this. Let's polish this and let's change that process a little bit, because here's a better way I think we could do it. Because all of a sudden things start opening up. And the final point with technology versus a PDF versus a Word document shared file is I think they have the app ability. And again, I think there's other types of software that has the app ability to say, I haven't done that floor care project. What is
Yeah.
the SOP? You type in hard floor care, strip and coat, strip and finish, whatever, boom, it pops up and there it is. So
Yeah.
I think technology is just going to make this a lot less painful. And quite honestly, the beauty of this thing and all of this, this, as you know, as an owner, all of these SOPs or this way I want to do it is all stuck in your head. And that's a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
You take that stuff out and throw it out and say, hey, listen, let's share that and let's get it on document sheet and let's make sure we're all in agreement on it. All of a sudden now you're taking, again, this came up on a conversation, taking those standards of how you want the company to be run, how the others should be running the company with you. That pressure just seems like it would be, taken off your shoulders. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's
No,
how I
listen, if you're a small business owner under $1 million right now, pay the $20 for a chat GTP and do exactly what Jack just said. Get your people, whoever it is, have chat GTP standardize. And the more you do it, the more it's going to standardize it for you. Listen, if I had the AI tool 20 years ago, I would have grown exponentially a lot faster. In a much shorter amount of time, because I was constantly trying to get it out of my head, get it into other people's heads. This is how our company was called Davis Professional Service. This is the Davis way, right? This is the Davis way. It wasn't Jerry Flug's way. It was the Davis way, because that makes the company scalable and it can grow, and those processes become repeatable in another region or another sector of town or another area, of town. And anything that in your process and procedure that becomes repeatable is a huge win for your company and to grow your organization. So listen, don't overcomplicate it. Just use technology and the AI tools that are out there right now. And I think you'll begin to find this is a lot easier than what you thought. Because there are a lot of people right now that they're paralyzed by the fear of thinking, I don't have time to do this. And the bottom line is you walk, right? You drive your car to get to the next place. Take that time and you maximize that time and do it. So you can do it. You can handle it. It's, part of Jack and I's thought for this whole show is to help the next generation of kids that come into this industry to be strong. And listen, right now, out of my coaching teams, I have 5 young people under the age of 30, and they're all killing it. Like they love it. So there's a lot of promise for the industry. It's just, they know those tools. They just don't know exactly the operational things that they should be doing. And, when this young cat down in North Carolina, when I tell him, hey, do this, and this, next thing you know, he's sending me a PDF. And it's like, okay, how about this for finance in my company? Well, he's done after 3 days. He's done, so yeah, it's a
And I
great
know
step. Good stuff.
And here's my, again, I'm not a legal or tax advisor, so I'm going to preface that. But here's my hack, because people are like, where do I start? Where do I start? Here's my, if you own a company, now tell me this, Jerry, if you take not a vacation, let's not call it that because I'm not a legal or tax, but if you go on a business trip, that's tax deductible, right?
Yeah.
So here's my theory. This is my little angle. Where do you start with SOPs? Well, here's what I would say do is go take a 3-day vacation with the family to see what breaks. Basically go away and say, okay, when I come back, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear from you for 3 days to your employees. I want to see what breaks down. But what starts to break down when you're gone 3 days, that becomes your initial SOPs. Mm-hmm. Now, as you kind of start putting those together, you'll probably say, well, this ties to this. Let's put this one in here. The next thing I'd do is 6 months later, let's go on a 5-day vacation. Again, it's a business trip because you're trying to see what's breaking down. That's my little side angle to take a vacation. That's business related.
I think as long as you are, even on, let me say it. I'm
being foolish when I say this. I'm just looking for ways to break things.
Yeah, I'm not a tax expert, but when you go on a business trip, it's a write-off in your business. But if you're, like when I go on vacation with my family, I don't stop thinking about this stuff. I try to unplug, I try to disconnect, but you can't stop my brain from winning, right? It wants to win. So, just it's a good way to do it, Jack. We took our family on a cruise, and I paid for the Wi-Fi because I wanted to be accessible. My team called me one time, and they checked in. They were like, "How's it doing? How's it going? Are you having fun?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's wrong?" They're like, "Nothing. We just want to let you know things are great." But anyway, that's my input for the day. So it's good stuff.
Well, I think SOPs is a topic, so definitely a worthwhile topic. And I think it will just take that burden off of you. And again, you get it documented, then you get others helping you use technology because I think it's there and it will put it in that standard. It will surprise you. Not Jerry, I'm gonna send you after we get through here. I bumped into just talking of AI. This is a side note, but I bumped in some AI software that I enjoy kind of playing around with music. I play guitar a little bit. I suck at it, but I found this AI software that will actually take the words you put together and put the voice to it and put the music to it. And you can do it if you want to do blues, you want to do country, rap, whatever you want to do. I'm going to send you something, but this blew my mind. AI is so crazy, intense, and evolving so quickly. The SOPs, we're not going to be talking about that in 3 years because it's just going to say, hey, here's my company, give me an SOP, and boom, there it is. Do this for me, boom, there it is. So anyway, I know you got to run, so good to see you Friday 13th. Safe travels. Thank you everybody for taking time out of your schedule to listen to Jerry and I rant about some stuff. But any final words, Jerry?
Hey man, share the word about Chasing Dirt Show. Like, follow, chase, whatever you do out there to get the word out. And we love it. We're hearing a lot of great things. So if we can do anything for you, let us know for sure.
Let's go chase some dirt then. So good stuff, man. Thank you. Later. All right.